Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Nitai Go Premanande Hari Bol Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Anant Gauri Vaishnava ki jai All glories to some devotees, all glories to some devotees, all glories to some devotees. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiryet Shravtam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridayantasto Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suhasatam Nashtaprayasha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavate Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhakti Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. Shri Gauratai ki jai, Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Gauri Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Go Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be covering Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 6, the progeny of the daughters of Dakṣa. And of course there is elaborate detail on the 60 daughters of Prajapati Dakṣa and how they increased the progeny. in this material world. Let's go with the very first verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, chapter 6, verse 1. Shishuk uvacha tata prachetaso sikyam anunita swayambhuva shashtim sanjanayam asha duhitra pitra vatsalaha. Shishuka uvacha. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, Tataha, after that incident, Prachetasaha, Dakṣa, Asikanyam, in his wife named Asikni, Anunitaha, pacified, Swayambhuva, by Lord Brahma, Shashtim, 60, Sanjanayam, Asa, begot, Duhitraha, daughters, Pitra Vatsalaha, all very affectionate to their father. Translation by His Divine Grace S. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, My dear king, thereafter, at the request of Lord Brahma, Prajapati Dakṣa, who is known as Prachetasa, begot 60 daughters in the womb of his wife Asikni. All the daughters were very affectionate toward their father. Purport. After the incidents concerning the loss of his many sons, Dakṣa repented his misunderstanding with Narad Muni. Lord Brahma then saw Dakṣa and instructed him to beget children again. This time, Dakṣa was very cautious to beget female children instead of male children, so that Narad Muni would not disturb them by urging them to accept the renounced order. Females are not meant for the renounced order of life. They should be faithful to their good husbands, for if a husband is competent for liberation, his wife will also achieve liberation with him. As stated in the Shastra, the results of a husband's pious activities are shared by his wife. Therefore, a woman's duty is to be very chaste and faithful to her husband. Then, without separate endeavor, she will share in all the profit the husband earns. Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripa Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this chapter, as identified in the very first verse and the purport, connects very nicely to the previous chapter. Dakṣa had lost, as per his perception, how many sons? 11,000 sons. 10,000 Harishvas and 1,000 Shavlashvas. So he was very despondent. And at that time, when Narad Muni gave him the news, he was very angry with Narad Muni and he cursed. So the previous chapter was how Narad Muni was cursed by Prajapati Dakṣa. We discussed that. And Narad Muni stayed quiet. He did not respond to the curse. He could have easily responded to that curse, but he accepted that curse. He said, yes, I accept this. That I would not have any residence in any place. I may wander throughout the universe. So Narad Muni, he accepted, that's stating so. But he would not have any residence. However, we also covered as how Devashi Narad, sage Narad, was able to give shelter to Kayadu, who is wife of Hiranyakashipu, who happens to be son of Diti. And Diti is one of the daughters of Prajapati Dakṣa. So this is in the future, based on this particular pastime. So here, it is clearly stated that Dakṣa, after getting angry at Devashi Narad and hearing that Devashi Narad accepts his curse, he repented. Yet at the same time, he was so severely affected that he did not want to have any more sons. And he had 60 daughters from the womb of his wife. Now, daughters, means ladies, they are not meant to take the renounced order of life. So somebody can ask, how do the ladies get, protection in this world? So when they are growing up, they are given protection by the father initially. And then, once they are grown up, they are married off, as is discussed in this chapter elaborately, like the different personalities, these daughters were married off. Then they are given protection by their husbands. So, in the second verse, it's described that Dakṣa, he gave 10 daughters in charity to Dharmaraj or Yamraj. 13 to Kashyapa, first 12 and then one more. 27 to Moon God and 2 each to Angira, Krishashua and Bhuta. The other 4 daughters were given to Kashyapa. Thus Kashyapa received 17 daughters in all. Now, it is said that hearing the names of these daughters is very auspicious, who were the descendants and their descendants, and they filled all the 3 worlds. And later, as it's described, that Kashyapa, so again, here, the husbands provide protection, to their wives. And when they have sons, right, and the sons grow up, the husbands take to the renounced order of life, engaging 24/7 in Krishna Bhakti. The wives are given, their wives, who are the mothers of their sons, and the sons are grown up. The sons give protection to their mother. So this is the Vedic tradition, where women do not have to take to renounced order of life, and they are constantly given protection. Now what if a woman does not have any son and her husband dies? In the case of Kamsa, we hear, like his 2 wives, who were the daughters of Jarasandha. And that was a treaty between Jarasandha. Means when you can defeat your enemy, you make them your friends. That is one of the lessons we discussed earlier. Jarasandha used that strategy. When he realized that, even with the great elephant, he would not be able to win over Kamsa, so he married his daughters to Kamsa. So this way, Kamsa would get a lower position, as Dakṣa said. So again, there are different traditions where, where the son-in-law takes a lower position, sometimes, and the father-in-law is a higher position, as Dakṣa also expressed when he was addressing Lord Shiva in the assembly hall, when he was calling Lord Shiva the lowest. Means he's saying that Ashutosh means Shubha, but at the same time, Shiva means Shubha, but at the same time, he is, very dirty. So he was saying that Lord Shiva has taken a lower position because he is married to my daughter. In some traditions, the son-in-law takes a higher position. So there are different traditions. Staying on the topic, so at that time when Kamsa was killed, Kamsa didn't have any sons. So what happened to his wives? They were given protection by Jarasandha. They went back to their father, and Jarasandha, at that time, realized that he has to give the protection to his 2 daughters, that at the same time, seeing their fate, that they do not have any son, he was filled with anger, and he thought that Lord Krishna and Balaram, they are the cause, and then he attacked. Where did he attack? Mathura. How many times? 18 times. 17 times he was defeated, and 18 times Lord found a solution that we have discussed in the past. So here, Dakṣa gave his daughters, to different personalities, and there are some very important purports that we'll be covering today. because of the time limit, we will not be able to, cover the whole chapter. So I request that please, take your time, because it's very auspicious to hear the names of these daughters of Dakṣa and their progeny. So Kashyapa, who is also named as Dakṣa, had 4 wives: Vinita, also known as Suparna, Kadru, Patangi, and Yamini. Patangi gave birth to many kinds of birds, and Yamini gave birth to locusts. Vinita, Suparna, gave birth to Garuda, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, and to Anuru or Arun, the chariot driver of the sun god Vivaswan. Kadru gave birth to different varieties of serpents, 1,000 nagas. And then it is described in the translation. Shukdev Goswami is describing this to Parikshit Maharaj. Now, Kadru, she gave birth to 1,000 nagas. Of them, some were very powerful. And they are named, very nicely, that there is Vasuki and then Takshak. So Takshak is mentioned here. So continuing part of the translation. Just picking up some of the important ones to discuss, given the limited time of this class. Shukdev Goswami is narrating, and he's saying, "O King Parikshit, please hear from me the names of Kashyapa's wives, from whose wombs the population of the entire universe has come. They are the mothers of almost all the population of the entire universe, and their names are very auspicious to hear. They are Aditi, Diti, Danu, Kashtha, Arishta, Sursa, Ila, Muni, Krodavasha, Tamara, Surabhi, Sarama, and Timi. From the womb of Timi, all the aquatics took birth, and from the womb of Sarama, the ferocious animals like the tigers and lions took birth." And then their description is given. So, the sons of Aditi, she had 12 sons. The 12th one was Upendra, Vamandev. The first one was Vivaswan, the sun god. And, Indra is there, 11th one, and then there's Varun Dev and so many others, right? So we have covered Adityas in the past. And they are, sons of Aditi are referred to as Adityas, and they are the great devotees of the Lord. And the sons of Diti are referred to as Daityas. Daityas and Danavas, they are different. Another wife of Kashyapa gave birth to Danavas. So Diti gave birth to Daityas, who were very powerful, very magnanimous, yet at the same time, they were not devotees of the Lord. So the first 2 sons of Ditis are referred to as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, and they are elaborately discussed in the 7th canto. And that is when Hiranyakashipu had gone to meditate and get the boon from Lord Brahma, the boon of immortality, Indra, along with other demigods, he had attacked his capital, and he was trying to, take away Kayadu, the wife of Hiranyakashipu. And he was thinking that he would be able to kill the son of Hiranyakashipu in her womb. So at that time, Devashi Narad, he interfered, and he said, no, the soul, the living entity in her womb is a great personality who is a great devotee. And so they circumambulated Kayadu and left her. And then Narad Muni was able to take Kayadu to his ashram, where he gave instructions that Prahlad was able to narrate later on to his schoolmates. So what Prahlad learned in the womb of his mother is a chapter in the 7th canto, which is nicely described as how he learned so much. Now somebody can ask, how could Devashi Narad have a residence or an ashram? So this ashram is not in the material world, even though it's visible in this particular universe with the right perception. It was in Vrindavan that when Devashi Narad, he wanted to participate and take part in Ras Leela, he learned Gopal Mantra from Lord Brahma, and he meditated on the Lord, and he satisfied. So Vrinda Devi appeared to him, and she said that he has to take a dip in Kusum Sarovar. So when he took the dip in Kusum Sarovar, he was immediately transformed into Naradi Gopi. And he was able to participate in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, where he also received instruction from Lord Krishna that he should write Narad Bhakti Sutra in Vrindavan. And at that time he inquired, but I have this curse from Dakṣa. And Lord Krishna said that that curse will not be effective in Vrindavan, because Vrindavan is not part of the material world. It is part of the spiritual world. So Devashi Narad, just 400 meters away from Kusum Sarovar, is Narad's pond, Narad Kund, where there is a small temple devoted to Devashi Narad, and that's where he had his ashram. So that's where he was able to bring Kayadu and give instructions with that Prahlad Maharaj received when he was still in the womb. Now who else has received the instructions in the womb of his mother? Do we remember? Abhimanyu. Remembered the instructions that how to break the Chakravyuh, the special formation in the battlefield. Who else? Any other personality? Shukdev Goswami himself. Yes. He heard the whole Srimad Bhagavatam when Vyasdev was narrating it. And that is a wonderful pastime as well as how it all happened. So here, it is said that just from Lord Sage Kashyap's wives, almost all of the progeny in this material universe came. So 8.4 million species of life are existing. And in the Padma Puran it is stated, Jalaja Navalakshani Sthavara Laksha Vimshati Kramayo Rudra Sankhya Kaha Pakshinam Dasha Lakshanam Trimshala Lakshani Pashavaha Chatur Lakshani Manushaha. So there are 900,000 species living in the water. 9 lakh Navalakshani. There are 20 lakhs or 2 million non-moving living entities, Thavara, the trees, and plants. There are also 11 lakhs or 1.1 million species of insects and reptiles, and there are 1 million species of birds. As far as quadrupeds are concerned, there are 30 lakhs of them, which is 3 million varieties, and there are 4 lakhs of human species of 400,000. So sometimes when we hear, we have received this human form of life, it is, very difficult in, 8.4 million species of life. Of them, 4 lakhs varieties of humans are there, human species. So that's why we see so much variety even among humans. And some of these species may exist on one planet and not on another. But in any case, within all the planets of the universe, and even in the sun, there are living entities. Srila Prabhupada stated very, clearly that this is the verdict of the Vedic literatures. So we should understand that 8.4 million species are referred here are not just on Earth, planet Earth. And some species are, visible on other planets. So on the sun planet also there are living entities wandering, and they have the body just suitable to be on sun planet. So connecting back that we are talking about progeny, one of the lessons we take from this chapter is that it is interesting, sometimes scientists are so much into analytical study and research and so forth, and they waste their valuable time in just doing the study without really understanding the purpose. One should first focus on the purpose and then seek. So again, here, Dakṣa's purpose was to increase progeny. That was his mission. And he was able to achieve it through his daughters. So, as Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Nimitra matram bhava savyasachin. So, he is saying to Arjuna, Lord Krishna states to Arjuna, that you are but an instrument. All these warriors who are gathered on this field, except for you Pandavas and a few others, all of them would be killed. And you are but an instrument of mine. I have already killed them, but you can get the glories by being an instrument. So he's inciting Arjuna. So here, one lesson that we should take is, another lesson we should take is that our children are through us, they are not of us. Right? Ms. Kashyapa Muni, he is the seminal father of Adityas, who are great devotees of the Lord, as well as Daityas and Danavas, and the other living entities, including the Nagas, the birds, the beasts, the animals, the trees, and so forth. So sometimes we as parents are so much bound that our children have to be so and so because that would define. But if you pay attention, out here we'll see that the dynasties are coming out from the mothers, right? The names of the dynasties. Shishi Ganatai ki jai, Shishi Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Shishi Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna. And as Shukdev Goswami is narrating, the progeny, and he's describing who are the sons of these various daughters and their sons as well, he goes on to describe Rachana, the daughter of the Daityas, became the wife of Prajapati Tvashta. And by his semen, he begot in her womb two very powerful sons named Sannivesha and Vishwarupa. And in the last verse he says, although Vishwarupa was the son of the daughter of their eternal enemies of the demons, the demigods accepted him as their priest in accordance with the order of Brahma when they were abandoned by their spiritual master Brihaspati, whom they had disrespected. So again, this will definitely incite and will be covered in the next chapter as how Vishwarupa, whose mother was the daughter of the Daityas, and whose father was, a great devotee of the Lord, Tvashta, when they were married, the son, Vishwarupa, was accepted as a spiritual master by the demigods. And there's a great narration, again, it's very interesting, there are great lessons to be taken. In this particular chapter, I do want to cover one important lesson is where, even though they are sisters, they are real sisters, sometimes they also go through some competition. So competition and sometimes, seeing that their children are prospering well is a thought of parents. Yet at the same time, one should learn to, understand that we are here in this material world with a given purpose. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. The purpose of life is to know the absolute truth. And, in summary, to accept the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna and take to devotional service. And how do you start your devotional service? Just by raising a hand and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, just like we see there is a competition we'll be covering in Srimad Bhagavatam in 7th canto onward, there is a competition among the sons of Aditi, the Adityas, as well as the sons of Diti, the Daityas. Similarly, there was a similar competition prevailed between two sisters, Vinita and Kadru. Once it so happened that Vinita and Kadru, when they were married and they requested Kashyapa Muni for the sons, because as soon as a woman is married, the next desire is to beget a son or to beget a child. And it's also sometimes referred to as, in the traditions, as a second birth. While the second birth is really taken to Brahman initiation. Yet at the same time here they are asking, and Kashyapa Muni, he asks Kadru how many sons she wants. So she says 1,000. And with the grace of Kashyapa Muni, she lays 1,000 eggs. Now seeing this, Vinata, she requests for 2 sons. I'll just need to have 2 sons. And so, by the grace of Kashyapa Muni, she lays 2 eggs. So again, we are talking of great personalities who are beyond the human perception here. Right? One of the wife of Kashyapa Muni is also Surabhi. Right? And she is the mother of all the cows and buffaloes that's referred here. So these personalities are not of this, world as we perceive it. They are great personalities. And so Kadru, she is waiting, and after 500 years or so, these eggs were kept in a warm liquid, sometimes referred to as water as well, so that they can hatch properly. And the 2 eggs of Vinata, they were also kept in liquid, warm liquid, so that they would hatch timely. So after 500 years, the eggs hatched, the 1,000 eggs, and 1,000 nagas came from these eggs. While Vinita, she is very patiently waiting for the 2 eggs to hatch. And seeing that her sister already had 1,000 eggs, and the feeling of competition that why haven't my eggs have hatched, she drops one of the egg, hoping that, this child would come out. And the child was partially developed. So Arun, he comes out and he doesn't have the lower part of his body fully developed. He only had his upper part of the body and part of the wings developed. So at this time, seeing the action of his mother, he curses her. He says that because you have done this, you will become Dasi of your sister. Because you are in competition with your sister. Dasi will be a low position, so you will not be able to become her equal, you will be subservient to your sister. So that's the curse. And then, the second, now how to save, because she may get similarly frustrated after some time and may break the second egg. So Arun was, very intelligent. He said, however, if you let the second egg hatch on its own, timely, then your son born of the second egg will be able to free you from that curse. Having heard, she was very despondent to have acted in this manner, very disappointed by her own action. So Vinita and Kadru, they were very close sisters. And so once they were traveling and they saw Uchashava horse, descending to the earth, and then it went behind the bushes. So Kadru said, "Sister, did you see what was the color of the horse?" She says it was white. Kadru said, "And what was the color of its tail?" Vinata said, "Of course it was white." And Kadru said, No, it was black. Now, how could you say it was white? So again they agreed for a wager. They said that if they see, next time they will come and see the horse, Uchashava, and then if the tail is white, Kadru will become slave of Vinita, the maidservant of Vinita. And if it's black, then Vinita would have to become slave of Kadru. Now, they both left to come back next day. Here, Kadru, she couldn't sleep. She was worried. And at that time, she called her sons the Nagas. And she said, when the horse Ucheshava, he descends next time, you should cover its tail so that it looks black. Because she didn't want to become the slave of her sister. So at that time, some of the Nagas, they protested. No, we won't do that. Then she said, oh, those who are saying they won't do that, they will be burned in a sacrifice, fire sacrifice. So, Janmejaya, after Parikshit Maharaj's, departure, Janmejaya becomes very upset. He is upset and then he wants to bring Dakṣa, one of the strongest Nagas, into the fire sacrifice. He's doing this sacrifice and all the Nagas, they're following this fire sacrifice. And Dakṣa is being, his friend is trying to protect, Indra is trying to protect. So he even asked the sages to bring Indra down. And at that time, this particular endeavor is stopped by others. So here, this curse comes into effect later on in the future. So at that time, the Nagas, they consider that, oh, maybe we should cover the tail of Ucheshava so we will not be burned in the sacrificial fire. So next day, when Ucheshava descends, the Nagas, they quickly go and cover the tail so that it looks black. So when Ucheshava comes in the vision of Vinita and Kadru, at that time, they see that the tail is black. And so, at that time, Vinita remembers the curse by her very first son, Arun, and she becomes slave of Kadru. However, when the second bird hatches, who's born? Garun is born, the carrier of Lord Vishnu. And he frees his mother from the curse. So that's another story, and take it as a homework to, learn how that happens. Now again, the interesting aspect is that there are sons born sometimes of, great Prajapatis and the daughters of Asura. And here Vishwarupa, he was the son of the daughter of their eternal enemies, the demons, yet the demigods accepted him as their spiritual master. So even demigods are showing the importance of having a spiritual master. And they didn't just whimsically selected any spiritual master. They went to Lord Brahma and sought his instruction that once Brihaspati has abandoned them, they need to have shelter. And Lord Brahma at that time instructed them to take shelter of Vishwarupa as their spiritual master. However, based on the time, place and circumstances, they needed the spiritual master to perform fire sacrifices so that they can become strong again. So their purpose was very different. Their purpose was not devotion service, engaging in devotion service to get a spiritual master. However, the purpose of life is to take to devotion service to cross over this material world and not get stuck over here. So taking that lesson, simply by chanting process, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we can cross over this, unsurmounting, vast material ocean just by taking to the lotus feet of Shishi Radha Madan Mohan, Shishi Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, Shishi Ganatai. Hare Krishna. So that's the main lesson I wanted to cover. Yes, there is a lot of descriptions about the progenies and how they are expanding, but one should understand the purpose of life and stay with that purpose of life and take to devotional service. And this is the month of Kartik, Damodar Mas, also known as. And Kartik, I was able to do some research, came to know that the name comes from the star constellation Kartikeya, as well as Kritika is the name of Radharani, who is daughter of Kirtida Sundari. So it's a derived name. So that's why the presiding deity of this month is Radharani, and so this month is very dear to Lord Damodar. And the month is filled with so many wonderful pastimes. So in this month, what is on sale? Not the Thanksgiving sale I'm talking about. I'm talking about bhakti, devotional service. It's on sale. So any small endeavor we perform, it yields great results. So please, my request is take to devotional service, take to the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And engaging in the night process of devotional service, some way or the other, and your life will be sublime. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nand Kauri Vaishnavind ki jai, Nitai Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. Shri Shri